When you think about your golden years, you probably picture yourself finally putting your feet up, taking that bucket list trip, or maybe spoiling the grandkids rotten. But if you're like most folks, there's always that nagging worry, what happens if the stock market tanks? What if inflation eats away at everything that I worked so hard for? That's where some smart retirement savers are looking at an old friend with a shiny reputation, gold, and a not-so-secret weapon called a gold IRA. Now, if you're not familiar with a gold IRA, hey, don't worry, it's not some wild new fad cooked up by a late-night infomercial. It's the same type of individual retirement account you probably already know and love, the kind that gives you tax-deferred or even tax-free growth, except instead of just holding paper assets like stocks or bonds, you're actually holding physical gold, real, tangible, can't be hacked, can't be printed gold. When you think about how unpredictable things can get these days, it starts to make a whole lot of sense. You see, gold's been a store of value for thousands of years. It's outlasted empires, survived financial collapses, and if it could talk, it'd probably have some stories that'd make your last family reunion look tame. In fact, people have trusted gold as a safe haven for centuries. When economic times get tough, when the headlines get scary, when the dollar starts to feel like it's worth less and less, gold's the turn-to asset that's always been there to help protect purchasing power. One of the biggest reasons people choose to open a gold IRA is for that defensive store of value. Stocks can soar, but they can just as quickly sink. Gold, on the other hand, tends to keep its value steady, moving more modestly, but giving you the kind of sleep well at night feeling that wild market swings just cannot. Let's be honest, at this point in your life, a good night's sleep beats watching your portfolio do backflips. And here's something that might surprise you. Gold doesn't just sit there looking pretty in a vault. It can actually grow over time, slowly but surely, especially when economic uncertainty is brewing. For example, history shows that when the economy grows and inflation creeps up, the price of gold often follows right along since it becomes more expensive to dig out of the ground and the demand for a safe store of value goes up. That brings us to the second big reason folks turn to gold IRAs, hedging against inflation. You know inflation, that sneaky villain that makes your grocery bill look like it's been eating too many Big Macs? Well, inflation quietly chips away at your purchasing power over time, which means that the dollars you have today might not buy the same amount of stuff tomorrow. Gold, though? Gold's kind of like your stubborn uncle who refuses to budge. It tends to hold its ground while inflation's heating up. So instead of watching your dollars lose value, you've got a built-in defensive strategy that historically keeps pace. But maybe the most overlooked reason to consider a gold IRA is good old diversification. You know that old saying, don't put all your eggs in one basket? Well, a gold IRA helps you spread those eggs around. Traditional investments like stocks and bonds are great, but they're not always predictable. And these days, it feels like all it takes is one bad earnings report, an unexpected war, or a tweet, yes, a single tweet, to send the market into a tailspin. Gold doesn't always follow the same path as stocks or bonds. In fact, it often moves in the opposite direction, so when your paper assets zig, gold might just zag, potentially giving your overall retirement portfolio a smoother ride. Now here's the part where most folks get stuck, but doesn't a gold IRA cost more than just buying a stock fund? That's a fair question. Yes, holding physical gold means you'll pay for secure storage and insurance. After all, you can't just stick a few gold bars in your sock drawer and call it a day. But the good news is when you work with a reputable provider like Goldco, you can keep those costs reasonable, especially when you've got a solid chunk invested. Some folks also wonder about buying and selling physical gold, and sure, there can be transaction costs. You usually pay a little more than the spot price when you buy and get a little less when you sell. But for many, that's a small price to pay for the peace of mind that comes from holding real, tangible wealth that can't be printed out of thin air. If you're curious about how all this works, the easiest first step is to get Goldco's free gold and silver kit. It's packed with clear info about how to get started, what you'll need to know, and how it fits into your retirement plan. No pushy sales pitch, just the facts you need to make a smart decision for your future. So hey, check that link in the description. While we're on the topic, Goldco also has a little known special offer. If you request your kit today, you can qualify for up to a 10% instant match in bonus silver, plus a free Ronald Reagan silver coin. Not a bad way to kick off your precious metals journey, but just a heads up, these bonuses are first come, first served, and only while supplies last. So what's the takeaway here? A gold IRA is not about trying to beat the stock market. It's about adding a layer of potential security, helping preserve your purchasing power, and giving you a little extra peace of mind when you check your retirement account. Because at the end of the day, when it's time to retire, you don't want to be glued to the news, worrying about the latest market meltdown or whether the dollar's buying less and less. You want to relax, enjoy what you've built, and know that you've got a portion of your wealth protected by something real, something that stood the test of time. So if you're ready to see if a gold IRA could help you protect your golden years, take a minute to check that link, request your free kit, and see how you can qualify for that bonus silver and free Reagan coin as well. And hey, if you got value from this, be sure and give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend who's planning for retirement, and subscribe for more clear, common sense insights to help you stay smart, stay protected, and maybe even sleep a little better at night.